back, guys. Today we are going to be focusing on our hamstrings. So those little muscles at the back of the leg that usually we say, oh, they're really tight a lot of the time. And so hopefully we're going to limber those bad boys up a little bit today. You might need 2 blocks handy or 2 thick books if you don't have actual blocks. And we're going to start this one standing today in our Tadasana. So standing with the feet hip distance apart, arms to the side of the body with your palms facing open. Your shoulders are relaxing back, down away from the ears, and our eyes are closed as we just take a moment to settle and to arrive on the mat. Use your breath to ground you. As you inhale through the nose, draw that breath in, and as you exhale, visualize that breath traveling down the body, down through the legs and out into the feet and the mat. Inhaling, drawing that breath in. Exhaling as we ground into the feet. And again. And again. Let the shoulders go, let the frowns go, let the jaws go, and continue to breathe in through the nose and down into the feet. Stay longer if you need to. But now noticing the backs of your legs, noticing how they're feeling today. Is there any more awareness in one leg than the other? And when you're ready, very slowly inhale. Just let the heels lift off of the mat. As you exhale, let them come back down. Inhale, let the heels lift. Don't worry about how high. Exhaling back down. 3 more. When you finish that last one and the heels drop to the mat, we're going to tuck the chin into the chest and we're going to roll the spine down 1 vertebrae at a time. You are going to come into that ragdoll position. But today we're going to link the fingers and we're going to take them behind the back of the head. We're going to just bend into the knees and allow our chest, everything to melt forwards. Maybe breathing into the backs of the legs now. 3. 2. And 1. Dropping the hands down onto the mat now. We're going to inhale, lift halfway, lengthening the spine. And even here, you're going to start to feel maybe the backs of the legs waking up a little bit more. As you exhale, tuck into your fold again, this time taking the hand to toe variation. Bend into the elbows, chest to thighs, and allow the elbows to wrap around towards the legs. Inhale. Remember to bend those knees if you need to. No shame in bending the knees. That's why we've got joints, so that we can move and mobilise the body in ways that suit and serve us. Take 1 more breath. Exhale. Inhale, coming all the way up. As you come down this time, do so slowly so you can pick up that exact point where you feel the backs of the legs start to feel the impact of the stretch. So for me, it's about here. And then we're going to take it a little bit further if the body's happy to. Hands back to big toes, bending into the knees, into the elbows. 3, 2, 1. We're going to keep the hands to the mat. Keep your right foot where it is and step your left leg all the way back. The hands are going to stay to the mat, and that might be where you need your 2 bricks either side of the foot. As you exhale, we're going to lengthen the right leg. I'm going to bend back into it, lifting the chest forwards and up. As you exhale, lengthen again, tucking chest towards your thigh. Then you can bend back in, heart forwards and up. Lengthen. Bend, heart forwards, shoulders back. As you extend this time, pausing. Breathing into the space. Breathe into the back of the leg. One more breath. Then you're going to anchor down into the hands, bend into the right knee and allow the left leg to flow into a standing split. Feel the chest melt towards that left thigh, right thigh rather. And exhale, step the left foot to meet your right. Inhale, come in all the way up. As you exhale, cactus the arms, leaning back just to counteract some of the folds we're going to do today. Exhale, hands back to the mat or to your bricks. Right foot steps back. Chest forwards and up as you bend into that front knee, really pressing up through the back of your right thigh. Exhaling as you tuck chest to thigh. You can go nose to knee if you want to, as long as it doesn't cause too much rounding in the neck. And forwards and up. Exhale. Bend in once more. When you get into this extension, extend and hold. Breathe into the tension. How does this side feel in comparison to the other side? Last breath, then we're going to bend into our left leg. Let the right leg flow into our standing split. Take a breath and then bring your right foot down to meet your left. Inhale, come in all the way up. And exhale as we pull the hands down to the heart space. We're going to step to the back of the mat. I'm going to have your feet parallel to one another or slightly turned in at the toes depending on your makeup and your preference. Some people like to turn them in. If I do that, it creates a little bit of pinching I don't really like, so I tend to go for more parallel feet. With our wide leg forward fold, we want to stay strong in the legs and we want to make sure we hinge from the hips, and I'm actually going to turn this way to show you today. So from here, a lot of the time we tend to roll in the spine and we want to do it more the movement from here. What you also might tend to do without knowing is send the butt too far back that you lose a lot of the stretch in your hamstrings. So from here, you're going to ground into the feet, make sure the weight is nice and even in your feet. Your inner thighs are going to hug in towards one another. And we're going to start by bringing the hands to the waist for this one. Elbows are going to draw back as you exhale, folding from that hip crease. Now rather than going boom with your butt, I want you to try and keep your butt more in alignment with your heels. So you'll actually probably feel a bit more weight come forward into the toes. That's not a bad thing because you'll get that lovely hamstring stretch where we want it. Fold forwards as far as is comfortable for you. And then once you've got that fold as far as you want to, keep the elbows drawing back now as we hold for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come in all the way up. Take a breath. Relax the legs because they're switched on the whole time. And then we're going to link the hands behind the back. You can take reverse prayer, you're going to hold the forearms, and we're going to lift the chest, press into the feet nice and evenly, exhaling as we take that bow forwards into our fold. This one's coming in for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, keep those inner thighs squeezing in, and 1. Inhale, coming all the way back up. Now we're going to turn your right toes to face the edge of your mat, and we're going to keep this right leg long now. We're going to spread the arms out nice and wide. We're going to take a breath. We're going to come into our Trikonasana, so we're going to reach forwards as much as we can. As we exhale, the right hand can come down to the big toe, inside of the ankle, inside of the shin, or maybe pressing into one of your blocks as the left arm opens. Take a breath. Exhale, scissor the legs in towards one another as you pause here. We're going to twist now. We've done this before, but we brought the hand down to the mat from here. I'm going to show you another way that might work better for some bodies. So we're going to inhale, come back, and we'll twist here rather than taking it from above like we did the last time. So twisting, left hand down to the mat as the right side opens up. Now personally I prefer to come into it the other way, but like I said, everyone is different. We'll all have our own little quirks and preferences. As you inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head, and as you exhale, seeing if that waist wants to twist any further. And then we're going to inhale, sweep the left arm up and back, bringing the hands to the waist. Turn the right toes in. Keep the hands where they are. Exhale, taking that bow into that fold. This time we're going to drop the hands to the big toes. Bending into the elbows as much as you want to or need to. Allow the crown of the head to hover above the mat and your neck is nice and long. Inhale. And exhale. And again. And again. Bring the hands to the waist. Inhale, come to a halfway position. Pause. Inhale, come all the way up. Turn your left toes to face the edge of your mat. Arms out nice and wide. So that left knee joint is not locked if we can help it. We want to add a micro bend if possible. We don't want to rely on our joints to hold us. We want to protect them and so that we can do these movements when we're 90 years old. So if we keep jamming into the joints all the time, eventually they're going to be like, whoa bro, can you chill out a little bit? Can the muscles help me out a little bit? So micro bends are great because it will activate the muscles around the joints more so than if we lock. So with the arms wide, exhaling as you reach forwards and down into that Trikonasana. Right arm up along with the gaze potentially. Hold in here. Inhale. And exhale. So you can either come up, make that twist at the top, or we're going to bring the right hand down from here and open the left arm up that way. Shifting the gaze up. If your neck doesn't like that, keep your gaze down. Keep looking for room in your twist. 3. Keep scissoring the legs together. 2. And 1. Inhale, coming all the way back up now. And we're going to step that right foot back to the front of your mat. Inhale, standing tall as you rise up, lifting onto those tippy toes, holding here. As you exhale, we're going to take a nice slow forward fold to the mat. From here now, I'm going to give you 2 options. We're going to press into the right foot and the left leg is going to lift, and you're more than welcome to stay here in your standing splits. You might want to play around with the balance, see if we can bring the hands to the ankles. Or we're going to lift the chest now and take this into a warrior 3 instead. 3 breaths. 1. 2, 3. If you opted to lift into your warrior with me, bring the hands back to the mat first, tuck back into standing split, and then step your left foot to meet your right. Press into your left foot, let the right heel lead the pose, standing split option to pause here and play, or the option to lift into your warrior 3. Lengthening the whole body, the whole spine, 3, 2, and 1. Then we're going to slowly come back down. Take a breath. Control the breath. In through the nose. And out through the nose. Now this next pose that we're going to take is quite an active posture. It doesn't look very active though. It's one of them ones that you look at and you go, I can totally do that. That's easy. And then you do it and you're like, oh my God. This is probably my top 3 least favourite things to do. However, I do them because this particular pose is really strengthening for these hip flexors and it's good for the hamstrings. So, we're going to ground into the right foot first, and you can do this with a bent knee option instead. So you're going to press into your right foot, the left knee is going to lift, and you can stay here. I can't talk at the same time. We're going to extend the leg out for those who want to. So when you're ready, extending that leg, keeping the foot in flexion. 3, 2, 1. Slowly come down. So you might be thinking, but I can just grab my toe, I can do that pose. You can, but it's not going to be as much effort as doing it without actually holding the toe. Press into the left foot. Ground, fix your gaze. Right leg is going to lift, and by all means stay here or find that extension with the leg. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly bringing it down. Lovely. Inhale, coming up with the arms. Exhale, taking your fold in. This time you can take any forward bend you like. Hand to toe, palms underneath the balls of the feet. Or maybe you might enjoy a little bit of a wrap around with the arms around the backs of the legs. And you've got about 5 or 6 breaths here. Every time the body starts to let go and open, if you lose sensation, that's a cue then, oh, I can maybe take it a little bit further now the body's opened up. When you're ready to, we're going to come down onto our mat. So we're going to pop down onto the knees. Ooh, and you might need your seated brick. Usually seated postures can really benefit from slight elevation in the hips. So please, I know I've said it before, don't see it as, oh, I'm crap because I use the block. No, I must be crap then if that's the case. And I'm not, and neither are you. So we're going to come into our seated forward fold or Paschimottanasana. Legs out in front, so you could choose to use your strap here. I'm not going to, I prefer to do it with bent knees. Moving the fleshy bits out of the way, the bony bits, flexing into the feet. Inhale as we lift tall, anchoring down through the inner thighs. Exhaling as we drape the chest across these thighs, whether knees need to be bent for that or not. And then we're going to breathe into the stretch. Again, try and lead with your heart. Imagine it's your heart you want to get to your feet rather than the chin or the nose. Even breathe into all the butt stretch, lower back. Inhaling and exhaling. Keep the breath flowing. Another breath. And then we can inhale and make our way up. We're going to take a wide leg fold now. So take the legs out wide. Flexion in the feet. Can't get my prop right now. And then exhaling as you fold straight forwards down the middle. So you can definitely micro bend here. A common complaint with this particular pose is the back of the knees can sometimes hurt. Little eye pillows, if you have those lying around, or a tea towel or a blanket, just to soften the knees a little bit will sometimes really, really help with that tension. I'm going to stay with this one for another 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4. See if we can melt in for that last 2. And then we're going to inhale, come up slowly. So watch out for that little unhelpful voice in your head again. Make sure it's not telling you you're rubbish at forward folds. No, we just take it slightly modified and slightly differently. We're not rubbish at all. Now I'm going to give you a couple of options. So coming off of your blocks, we're going to come into legs up the wall pose. Now you can do this if you happen to have a leg. Obviously I hope you've got a leg. But if you happen to have a wall near you, is what I was trying to say, you're more than welcome to take literal legs up the wall pose. If you're in the middle of the room, we can take it legs up the wall here. Now I'm going to give you a choice. You can either stay here, which is a really lovely calming posture actually. It's really good to calm down the nervous system. If ever you have got really high energy and you need drawing back down, this is a really lovely pose to do just that. Now I'm going to invite you to stay there, or if your hamstrings are happy to, we're going to take this into what we call halasana. So either here, or we're going to press into the elbows as we start to lift the hips and take the toes over the back of the head. Then you can use your hands to support you. Now you might get to here and your hamstrings might go, hell no, back off. In which case we go, all right, another day maybe. And we come back to here. If your hamstrings are like, oh, I'm good. I'm going to take it there today. And then we're going to breathe here instead. If I practice what I preach, then I think that I should actually come to here, because for me today, my body's saying no. But if your body is saying yes, enjoy having those legs over the back of the head in that position. Legs up the wall, place the hands on the heart and one hand onto the belly. Inhale, breathing mindfully into the hands. Now if you are in halasana with your legs over the head, you are going to start to come out very slowly and controlled. And then we can come to legs up the wall. We can then drop the feet to the mat. And we're going to allow the knees to fold open and the soles of the feet to press together. If this is too much, you are going to take your legs out into your shavasana instead. Staying mindful of the breath for the next few rounds. And take one more breath in. You can let that breath go as a sigh and allow the hands to rest to the side of you as you rest and restore for a few minutes. Make sure you don't get up and leave this part. This part is integral to your practice. Everything needs balance, even movement needs to be balanced with stillness. Whichever posture your body is in, very slowly start to invite some movement back in towards you. Little movements, big movements, whatever you need. And in your own time, I'd like you to roll yourself over to your right hand side. As you roll to your right, your awareness will continue to expand outwardly now. And before you press up to seated, make sure you take a moment of thanks for yourself for showing up today. And also maybe a little thanks to the hamstrings. So when you're ready, you can then press your way up to seated. Inhale as you lift nice and tall, reminding us to always think about the posture when we can. And then closing the palms together at our heart space to end our practice here, guys. Again, thank you so much for sharing your time and your practice with me.